Hi everyone, and welcome to my review for Paradise Marsh. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you why Paradise Marsh is a good fit for those who like to search and collect things and those who like achievement hunting. Paradise Marsh surprised me in many ways. I was expecting a nature-based romp in the marsh, collecting creatures for my study and perhaps indulging in some achievements. I did get this, but I was also treated to some deep, reflective moments and a lot of silly humour. At its heart, Paradise Marsh is a collection-based game where you travel around the swamp, collecting creatures with your net and then recording them in your diary for prosperity. There is quite a fast day-to-night cycle, and certain creatures only emerge at certain times of the day or night. Learning when and where you can find creatures is the key to success. There is the option to fast forward time, but only if you find a suitable spot, and this can alleviate the need to wait around for a creature to appear. The swamp isn't that big, and there seems to be defined areas, but it is still easy to get lost, as there are no boundaries as such, and areas tend to wrap around, causing an endless vista. It can become quite tricky to find that elusive creature sometimes. Your character moves quite swiftly, and you can jump over narrow streams, swim through lakes, or even bound over ponds using the frog's lily pads. Growing in the ground are different types of mushrooms, which have various effects on your ability when eaten. They might give you super speed, elevate you in the air, or leave you dizzy and confused. You'll also find objects lying around, or in hampers that help too, like ice lollies that freeze water, or cans of drink that give you a short burst of energy. To aid you in your search, if you are in the vicinity of any creature, it will flash or make its natural sound to alert you of its presence. It's not always obvious exactly where it is, but a quick spin around usually does the trick. Some of these creatures are hidden, like the toad who is under a pile of grass, and some are very wary of intruders and will retreat, fly away, or scarper at the nearest sound. To capture the shy and nervous creatures, you have a sneak mechanic, and must approach it quietly and usually from behind so that the creature doesn't see you, then swipe your net before it notices. Your diary keeps a note of which creatures you have caught and how many, because you will need to catch more than one of each species. Each creature caught is equivalent to a star in the sky, and once you have enough of that particular animal, you can draw its constellation. Scattered around the swamp are shrines, which can be activated at night to access a star map in the sky. Here you will see all the creatures you have captured, and you must absorb them into the stars. Your diary will show you the shape corresponding to that animal, and once drawn it will come alive. To begin with, it's not always obvious which stars relate to which animal, and the shapes can get lost in the sea of twinkling light, but as you progress it gets easier. I found drawing the shapes with the controller was very cumbersome, and I gave up and used the mouse for these sections. Throughout the swamps are 12 bottles bobbling around waiting to be found. Uncover the note inside for some very profound and interesting notions on life, love and other poetic verses. It's a stark contrast from the cute and careless animal catching, and I must admit some of it went straight over my head, but other notes resonated and they were fascinating to read. The poetry theme doesn't end in unwanted bottles. The local bird population have taken a liking to the beautiful word, and when approached will recite short poems. In fact, the whole place is one big classroom of existentialism, with some very philosophical and deep words coming from the constellations as you build them. There's also a lot of wit, and some very clever insights into how that particular creature operates in their day-to-day life. This is the perfect game for achievement hunters, with only 13 to hunt down, and although some of them would be very difficult without a guide, there is one available, and they are all fun to get. It took me 5 hours to complete to 100%, but I'm sure you could do it in less when you work out how to catch the spiders. Paradise Marsh is a lot of fun, especially if you like collecting things or repeating tasks. There is a strong natural feel to the game with its nature-based gameplay, but the creatures are elevated into a whole different realm with their philosophical views on life and the very entertaining way they describe their work habits. The way they interacted with each other was a treat to behold, and it gave them their own personalities. The game is bonkers really, and there were moments that even baffled me and were bordering on pretentious, but it's all presented in a delightfully quirky way, and if you start to look deeper into the contents, it may well blow your mind with wonder. Okay, that's all for my review for Paradise Marsh. I hope you enjoyed it. My next review will be for The Darkest Tales, a platforming adventure which twists the known concept of well-known fairy tales and adds a dark and foreboding theme. If you're interested in that one, please click the notification bell, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks, and see you soon.